Here. This is a weird Prager U video. What it's about is freelancers, and the video is pretty pro-freelancer. I'm also pro-freelancer. Freelance workers are cool. You have a right to be a freelance worker. And employees also have the right to have benefits from their employers. That's something that should be guaranteed. And so what this video is about is a law called AB 15, right? Or AB 5. It's called AB 5, and this law essentially, we'll just watch it. We'll just watch it, and we'll make it a little faster.
Workers of the world, unite to protect your freedom. You have nothing to lose but your jobs, which is exactly what is happening in California and threatening to spread to the rest of the country.
Okay, so I think that this video, like, the message of this lady is pro-freelance worker, but because she decided to go on Prager U and present it for some reason, they have to throw in some, like, anti-left sort of dog whistles, be like, oh, California, and the left is the radical left, and I don't know, it's really weird.
Fewer jobs and fewer people employed. Why is this happening? Exhibit A. Assembly Bill 5, or AB 5 as it's commonly known, passed by the California legislature in September of 2019. AB 5 was authored by a former union boss, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez. The stated goal was to protect freelance workers from employers taking advantage of them.
No, that is not true. So, if you look up AB 5, right? You look it up, and then, I don't know, we could look at this article. AB 5 will ensure that California's workers perform core work under company control versus as independent business. AB 5 will make it more difficult for companies to avoid paying their fair share of Social Security, Medicare, unemployment. Pretty much the point of it is to make it to where people who are employed by a company are guaranteed, their Social Security, Medicare, unemployment insurance, their benefits. It's pretty much supposed to guarantee benefits. So this idea that it's to protect freelance workers, no, it's meant to protect employees and to distinguish between freelance workers, because as we'll see in the video, their employers often make it to where freelance workers, their employees are classified as freelance workers, and as a freelance worker, you don't get the benefits. So to get around giving people benefits, they label them as freelance workers, and the law is supposed to fight against that.
From employers taking advantage of them. Instead, it has pushed thousands of these workers into the unemployment line. Here's why. Workers in the United States are classified as either employees or independent contractors, sometimes known as freelancers. True. Independent contractors are self-employed and contract their labor to one or more firms.
True.
The upsides to this arrangement are clear. Freelancers decide whom they work for, when, where, and how.
Yeah,
They're
it's
their
cool.
own boss. So then, what are employees? Employees typically work for one employer. In exchange, they're entitled to workplace benefits and protections that independent contractors are not, such as healthcare, time off, minimum wage, and unemployment insurance. We don't have to agree which kind of employment is better. Different people have different preferences.
True.
It's all choice.
Yeah.
But some people, specifically unions and progressive politicians...
All right, this is weird. This is weird. I don't think that unions and progressives are anti-choice. Unions literally make it to where there is more choice, whereas the concept of a union is that a group of employees come together and decide things together. That's what a union is about. It's about making group decisions and choices. And progressive politicians, they're literally pro-choice. I feel like this lady was just told to say this by Prager U to be platformed.
Anti-choice. AB 5's author, Assemblywoman Gonzalez, disdains freelance work. These were never good jobs, she says.
I don't know. Okay, so that quote is so out of context. These were never good jobs. What were never good jobs? This is just a quote pulled from nowhere, right? I have no source. I have no idea when it was said, where it was said. Nothing. I don't know. Maybe this? Gonzalez gets profane in Twitter battle with AB5 critics? I don't... Maybe that's the source? No one has ever suggested that. Even freelancers, we will continue to work on this next year. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I don't know what to make of this. Maybe she did say this. I don't know. I think the law is pro-employee. I don't know.
She says. Oh, really? She might want to talk to some of the 2 million Californians or the 57 million Americans who freelance. 46% of those workers happen to be women. Of course, the AB5 supporters would say the law is needed because companies, especially gig economy firms such as Uber and Lyft, willfully misclassify workers as freelancers to avoid providing benefits.
Yeah, so this is a problem. The Uber and Lyft, they don't want to comply with AB5 and classify their employees correctly as employees. I think AB5 is doing something good here, but Uber and Lyft are fighting back against it.
Why not ask the workers themselves?
It's a really strange video.
According to a McKinsey study, nearly 80% of gig workers say they're happier than those working traditional jobs.
Yeah, that's cool.
They love their freedom and also earn a good living.
That's
In
cool.
fact, over 17 million freelancers quit their traditional job to freelance.
Cool.
And 2 out of 3 of them say they earn more now than before. For the majority, their new incomes outpace their previous salary within just 1 year. Half of the freelancers say they would not take a traditional job no matter how much they were offered. And in a survey of female gig workers, nearly 2 out of 3 women who have a side job prefer being independent contractors over being employees. AB5 has already done damage. It has wiped out the livelihoods of many independent contractors and will limit new opportunities in the future. Freelance writers and journalists have been especially...
I mean, the way that...
a provision making it illegal for them to produce more than 35 pieces of content in a year for a single company. Left-leaning Vox media hailed the bill's passage as a victory for workers everywhere, then turned around...
I mean, it is a victory for workers. If you're an employee... Yeah, it's good for you.
200 freelance writers, rather than make...
I looked at a Vox article, or not a Vox article, but about... The law was meant to target Uber and Lyft and has repercussions for contributors. Yeah, so they're getting rid of their 200 freelancers and then having 20 full-time and part-time employees to replace. Essentially, they wanted to... The freelancers weren't happy with Vox wanting to have more employees, so Vox was just kind of like, all right, we'll wipe it out. I mean, it's a company. They have a right to do whatever they want and let the freelancers be freelancers. I know, right? I don't think Vox is the most left-wing news source out there. I think there's more left-leaning stuff out there, but...
Make them full-time employees. The rideshare industry estimates that AB5 will increase their labor costs by 20 to 30%. As a result, rideshare companies may schedule drivers in advance and reduce the number of drivers during slow hours or in less busy markets. For customers, this means longer wait times, fewer available rides, and higher prices. For drivers, it means reduced flexibility and reduced income. It may also kill hundreds of thousands of jobs. From its inception, AB5 was fundamentally flawed. Dozens of industries and trade unions
I don't
lobbied
think
for and
that's
won
because of
carve-outs.
AB5, though. I don't think that's what the point of the law is. It's supposed to just ensure employers give their benefits to their employees and that they aren't mislabeling them as freelancers. That's the point of it. So this video being pro-freelancer but being anti-AB5 when AB5 isn't even against freelancers, it's so weird. It's very weird.
The bill was passed to ensure it didn't affect them. But special carve-outs are not the way to fix bad policy. That approach only rewards those who can afford to pay for special treatment and punishes those who can't. Legislative attempts to overturn AB5 have failed. Not surprising given the influence the unions have over California politics. Court challenges have been filed and are ongoing. But legal action takes time, and hardships are immediate. This would all be bad enough if it were just a California problem. But New Jersey,
Again,
New York...
bringing up California, like... Oh man... Of course, it would be California. Like, I don't know.
Illinois, Wisconsin, and Oregon are all considering AB5-style legislation. Although AB5 is positioned as progressive policy, there's nothing progressive about what it does. It's backward, not forward-looking. Flexibility, freedom, and opportunity is the bright future of the American worker.
This isn't an
Unless bad
argument.
policies like AB5 get in the way. I'm Patrice Onwuka, Senior Policy Analyst at the Independent Women's Forum for Prager University.
For more information...
Yeah, so... I don't know. I wanted to cover this one because it was just strange to me. It was really bizarre, and I didn't know what to really make of it. Because if you look at the law, it's about workers and employers and employees. And when you look at the video, it's pro-freelance. The law isn't anti-freelance, but it portrays it as it is. And it's just weird. It's just really, really weird. I agree with the message. Freelance workers should be allowed to be freelance workers, and them not getting rights, that's a bad thing. I agree. But I disagree with how they are interpreting the law, because from what I've read, what they're talking about just isn't accurate. It's a weird Prager U video where I don't disagree with it completely, but I'm acknowledging that the information isn't exactly correct. So, yeah, that's it for that segment.